My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey guys, welcome back. Today's zooming in from Dallas, Fort Worth. We've got Nelly Sanchez. Nelly is a newer real estate investor. She's been going for about 2 years now, and she and her husband currently have 2 buy and hold single family homes. They've done another 2 deals that they've entered and exited from. And now she's kind of debating whether she wants to start doing some flips in addition to these single family rentals. Her husband's keen to go. She's a little bit hesitant. He's not on the call, so we get to talk all about that. Nelly, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So, Nelly, give us a little overview of what you've got. 2 properties on the go right now. Tell us a little bit about them. Tell us a little bit about your tenants and your experience so far in these last 2 years of being a real estate investor.
So I would say the first property, it's like some of the other investors fell in by accident. It was our primary residence. We needed to move to another house. I had already thought about doing real estate investing. So when we were ready to move, I told my husband, I said, let's just keep it. Let's not sell it. It was near being paid off at that point. Wow. So like, yeah. Well, we restarted the clock again.
I get it. Yeah, you did a home equity to get into the next house. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that was our first rental. That's going almost on two years. This January coming up that we been renting it out. We rent it out to family. It's going okay.
Yeah, close family or extended family?
Close, my sister. Yeah. It's going okay. Not the worst.
Are they usually paying the rent?
They pay the rent.
Oh, good. Well, that's good.
Yes. So that's positive.
So what are the challenges that you've experienced working with close family as tenants? Are they more nitpicky than most other tenants? Are they calling you up all the time to fix stuff, or what are the challenges working with family?
We gave her more of a discount on the rental because we are assuming, and again, that's us assuming that as a family, it's someone who we are going to trust more than somebody else might take care of our property more than just an external tenant. Yeah. I think that's not necessarily true. They're just like another tenant.
Maybe worse because it's family, right? So they might think
so now we're going to be addressing in the next year or two, increasing rent. And then if they happen to be unhappy, well, I mean, it is what it is. So again, lessons that we're learning. Then during that time, I have a corporate job. So I work in corporate accounting, finance, and treasury. It's my background, and I love my job. I could do that for the rest of my life. But, I had experienced a lot of burnout, stress, and hostility towards especially management or bosses. So I wanted to have an opportunity to have another source of income that is not just my W-2 or my husband's W-2. So that led us into this year forming our LLC and starting to really look more into real estate investment. So our company is very new, just this year. So that led us to this year, we acquire a second property, which is going to be for our buy and hold. But this is a rehab property and like a gut down job.
Oh, wow.
It is, we have learned a lot.
So you're doing what people call a BRRRR, I guess. Is that the idea?
Maybe.
Maybe.
This property I acquired via seller finance. and the interest rate is pretty sweet. It's
Okay.
0% interest rate
Oh,
for
wow. Yeah.
15 years. So I told my husband.
Yeah, you don't want to refinance that one. Got it. Got it. Got it.
So again, my background is with the numbers, finances, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of hard to beat. So we're very much on the end, but at this point, husband and I are working on the weekends doing the rehab without electricity. We were working throughout the summer. We bought a
Wow.
generator.
And for those folks that aren't familiar with Dallas in the summertime, it's hot, 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 crazy
It
hot.
it reached almost 110 this year. So 109, 110. But we've learned a lot. What not to do is primarily, but it is almost rent ready. We're just finishing up with the last pieces, like the doors, the baseboards, and just the trims on the windows. And I think
And
that that's
you and your husband are doing all this all by yourselves.
well, we
Wow.
started with
Mostly.
a general contractor. Not doing
Sorry, I'm
that
chuckling.
again.
I'm guessing what happened. That didn't work out too well.
No, again, us being in to some degree new, and I did join a investor mentorship and group in
Good.
Texas,
Yeah.
which I thought could help me, give me some, at least ask other people, right? Give you that network. And I can't say it's all been that bad, but part of that is one person from that group gave me a bad experience.
Oh,
With the JC and people just running away with money.
oh
Your
no.
money. Not-
Yeah.
And again, someone says like, whose fault is it really? Is it not properly documented? But in some instances, even if it was properly documented, it's just going to be a legal battle.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be a horrendous pain in the butt to chase after the contractor and try and get your money back. And it's like, where's your time, money, and energy best spent, right? So
yes,
yeah.
so it's spent on the property. And we're hoping that maybe in a month we can just put it on the market, and that will be our second one. So
Well, put it on the market. So that'll be your second property, but your first flip, I guess. Is that
yes.
the idea? You want to get rid of that one?
No,
Oh,
so we'll get into the other two deals that are considered more flip. Um, so I JV with another investor here in Texas. He does fix and flips. Majority of what he does is fix and flips. I was doing some of the gap funding for him. We were able to exit that one back in June.
okay.
But I told him the reason I wanted to JV with him and with his experience, because I really wanted to learn more.
Yeah.
I didn't get to learn a lot from it, but we exit that successfully. And then I did a second JV agreement with another group of investors. And that one is land and mobile home. Basically, we're already under contract. We were supposed to get funded yesterday. So that was a fix and flip on land and a mobile home, because he did have to have the rehab, the structure. We were intended to hold that for about 3 months. It extended to almost 6 months.
Yeah.
So,
That happens
but I
sometimes.
mean,
So the one that you and your husband are working on right now, when you say put it on the market, you mean put it on
as
the
a
rental
rent,
market. Got it. Got it. Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
No, no, like I said, the financing part is pretty sweet on that deal. That property is in a gentrified area and is
Yeah.
like 10 minutes from downtown Dallas. They're not
Now, are you
built
going to rent it out as a regular single family home, or are you going to rent it out as a co-living space or a group home or something
big
like that?
because of the area. I don't think a co-living or Airbnb or none of those strategies are applicable right now. But it is maybe 5 minutes from the fair, the Texas Fair. And like I said, it's 10 minutes literally from downtown Dallas. But once the area does get improved,
Gentrified. Yeah.
then there's gonna be more strategies, but we're just gonna do it as a regular rental, not even Section 8. It's really that profitable.
Mm.
But again, the 0% interest, and the financing was only like 15 years old. So it's like, okay,
Oh
then no,
yeah. So I mean,
no.
0% interest, every payment you make is principal, right? So that's paying that sucker down you could accelerate it if you wanted to, but you don't need to.
Yeah, but what's the
Why would you?
point? I mean, the payment was $500 a month for 15 years. I told my husband, I said, look, if we cannot afford that, we're really not that great investors. We need to stop.
Well, that is awesome, Nelly. So where do you see things going over the next year or so? You say, I'm surprised to hear that going through this experience of hands-on renovation, your husband's now keen on doing flips. Why?
My husband has that syndrome that a lot of investors have of seeing money signs, right? Oh, flashy. Oh, yeah. We can just flip it and make 30, 40,000. I can quit my job. He wants to quit his job.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So he doesn't mind. He is very hands-on. He's very handy. He's always been the handyman in the house,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
fixing everything, cars. He's very intelligent and resourceful when it comes to handling things like that. But what I do try to tell him, I said, yes, it is a high risk, high reward strategy, but a flip can also turn around. And I said, it can flip on you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said, I'm more of it's not that I mind risk, because otherwise I wouldn't be investing. I invest in the stock, I invest in real estate. I one time even try to invest in crypto, learn it by myself.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm trying to play the long-term game,
Yeah.
not so much the short term. I said, my job is pretty consistent, pretty steady. If I happen to do that for the rest of my life, I wouldn't mind it. I just want to have other options and other alternatives, right?
Mhm.
And if it happens that it does replace our income, awesome. I said, but let's look at other alternatives too that don't put us in the red from the get-go, because it's going to take us longer to get back to the game. So again, with that, I'm now, once we get the funding, I'm exploring more Section 8 in some of the areas. And I am looking at a couple of properties that I want to visit this coming up week. And again, for me, it's buy and hold. I don't.
Well, I think there could be a nice combination potentially, Nelly, because I understand where your husband's coming from. He's kind of got this skill set. He's not happy with his job. There is some pretty good profit potential in doing flips. Lots of people are doing very, very well with it. And I completely understand where you're coming from as well. You've got a good job, you like it, you're a conservative kind of person. You prefer the long-term buy and hold and all of the benefits that creates for you long term. So what I've seen other people do, Nelly, very successfully is combine both strategies. So they're always on the lookout for really good properties. And if the financing isn't there or the numbers just don't look as good or whatever, then they might just do a flip on that property, just buy it, renovate it, sell it, get her done, or wholesale it, assign it to somebody else. And then they cherry pick the really good ones like that 0% interest type deal there. And they hold on to that one in their portfolio. So they might do two or three flips and a wholesale or two, and then find a really good one to hold on to and add to the portfolio. And then the other thing that they do, I was just talking to another flipper very recently, is they focus on flips that have multiple potential exit strategies, right?
Mhm.
Flip is choice number one, but if everything goes to hell and the market changes, they can quickly pivot and turn that into a pad split rental
Mhm.
or a normal rental or a group home type rental or something like that, or a rent to own or something
Mhm.
like that,
Mhm.
where they don't get bit if the market changes on them, and
Mhm.
that lowers the risk dramatically. So you might be able to have your cake, you might both be able to have your cake and eat it too.
Yes, and that's something we are definitely open to.
Nice.
I
Nice.
haven't said we are, because one of the reasons that I specifically target real estate, it's yes, tax benefits, long-term, et cetera, but was really looking for at some point having my husband have more options on his job.
Yeah.
To substitute that. Just give him the the option to do something else that he might enjoy more. Whatever that might be. Might be fix and flip, might be something else.
Hey, you know what? I was just interviewing another fellow yesterday, actually. He had an interesting story. He started working with a very active flipper as a project manager. And so he worked for that guy for like 2 years and helped them do like 150 flips and got paid to learn, right? Now there's a gazillion people doing fix and flips in and around Dallas, I'm sure. And there's probably some pretty big players out there doing high volume of deals. That might be an idea. Your husband, if he doesn't really like his job, he could initially go work for somebody else who's doing this, have the nice steady paycheck without a lot of risk, really learn the flipping business, really understand how to find and manage good contractors, because somebody doing that volume is going to have really good contacts, really understand how to find the best deals and find the best supplies and suppliers. And then after a year, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, jump in and do his own business.
Correct, because I know this is recorded, but between the two of us, this is one of the reason of my hesitancy of just having him handle that part, because I know I have to be involved
Yeah.
a lot. So because he understands one aspect, but he hasn't learned the managing contracts, the analyzing deals, the the number portion of it. And again, I can't be present looking at every single deal and property and make sure that it's going to be profitable. I need somebody who can have the same level of understanding of that side, and he hasn't. So
Well, that's challenging sometimes, Nelly. So you might like when he wants to do it himself, you might have to be involved on the number crunching side of things. But there are ways to do that a little bit more efficiently than doing a massive analysis of every deal. Like there's some, like if you take some coaching and training around flipping, there are tools and there's software out there where you can put the numbers in there and it'll give you green lights. If it looks like something you should seriously take a look at, red light if it's not, you just scrap that. And then you just kind of dig in, but it does a lot of the nit gritty stuff for you. So I think there are ways that you could probably help them out with that, because here's the reality. Your analytical number crunching skills do not come naturally to the rest of us, right? And trying to force your husband to learn how to get good at that is just going to be an exercise in frustration, probably for both of you. Does that make sense? But if he's really good at the construction, and if he gets really good at the construction, the managing the teams,
the managing the team.
Yeah.
Yes.
That side of things, that's hugely valuable. Like does that make sense? So you might not be completely out of it, but you don't have to be as involved as I think you might have to. You think you might.
Yes. That is, I think, one of my concerns. I don't want to be as involved. Handling even contractors. I'm like, I want him to take a bit more decisions that need to happen sometimes on the spot without always having to double check things, right? Because again, sometimes you can. And unfortunately, I have a job, and yes, my job offers to some degree some flexibility, but there's gonna be times when I'm tied up in meetings and I can't.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's awesome. That's exciting stuff, Nelly. So hopefully you and your husband can figure out a path forward together that fits both of your needs and works out really, really well for both of you. So we're run out of time here. So if people would like to connect with you, I think you mentioned that Facebook is probably the best way for people to reach out.
Yes, I don't have a website yet. You can find me in Facebook, Nelly Sanchez in Dallas. It usually comes with my picture.
There you
So I do have my profile photos. So that's usually where I connect with other investors.
Fantastic. Well, Nelly, thanks very much for being on the show. And congratulations on what you guys have accomplished already. And best of luck in the future.
Thank you, Dave. It was a pleasure being here.
All right, everybody. See you on the next
Okay.
one. Hey there. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.